We'll go ahead and get started now. Again, welcome to the virtual tour and opening of the Dignity Health Baseball Clubhouse. Back in November of 2013, we started in earnest to raise funds to build this facility. The project officially broke ground in July of 2018, and today we're happy to say that we're opening our 10,679 square foot, $9.4 million facility, thanks to the support of you who helped with over 100 other donors make this project a reality. What we have next is we're going to have a video that is a virtual tour with Coach Lee, followed by some comments from Don Oberhelman and Alan Iftiniuk. You will see at the bottom of your Zoom a Q&A button. As you come up for questions after our video, we will have Coach Lee make a few comments, followed by a Q&A for as long as we have questions coming in that we'd like to have. While it took a while to get here, we hope that you'll agree that this building was worth the wait. If anyone's coming through San Luis Obispo anytime, feel free to give me a call, and I'd love to be able to walk you through this in person. Right now, as we said, use your Q&A button at the bottom to begin submitting questions for Coach Lee, and I hope you enjoy our virtual tour.
Welcome. My name is Larry Lee, head baseball coach at Cal Poly. I'd like to welcome you to the Dignity Health Baseball Clubhouse virtual tour. Come on in, follow me. This is the entrance to the clubhouse. It's the Tom Lee Legends lobby. Got the elevator. It's a two-story clubhouse. We're enter from the sidewalk into the second story. The Tom Lee Legends lobby was named after my father. He was a baseball, basketball, football, and boxing coach here. He's in the Athletic Hall of Fame, and was a big influence on myself. And then we will go right up here into the Jim Newkirk Pavilion. Jim was a pitcher at Cal Poly from 1958 through 1960 via Orange Coast Junior College in Costa Mesa, California. He was a pitcher here at Cal Poly. He's been one of our major donors from day one. It's a multi-purpose room for our student athletes. We have 9 tables, seats 36. We can hold our team meals here. We can hold meetings here. For our donors, it's a great place to eat before the ball game, and then during the ball game, they can either watch the game from inside, or we have these windows that accordion to the side, and it's open air, and they can watch the game from our balcony. It's a great view. You're right close to the action. You get to look down on the field, and you can see every position on the field. This is our bar area for our donors with a pantry in the back, and you see our donor board for people that have donated towards this clubhouse project. We have our restrooms, and then we enter through this area. We have our coach's locker room. Has lockers for 5 coaches, restrooms, showers. This is our manager's office and our volunteer assistant coach. Plenty of storage room. Our managers will be here with their laptops, and they help with our scouting reports, recruiting, analytics. They're a big part of our program now. Down the hallway, you have some of our big leaguers in a old school type of baseball card. This is our academic center. Where our players can hold study hall, or we can meet with recruits and families. And we're going to make a left. This is the Augie Garrido head coach baseball office. This is my office. Augie coached baseball here at Cal Poly, 1970 through 72. Also coached at Fullerton, Illinois, and Texas. Won 5 national championships. I have a door that goes right on out to the balcony. Let me take you out there. Great place to watch a game. These are the assistant coaches' offices. They also have a view of the field. Come on out, that was the second story. We're gonna take the stairs down to the first floor. This is our great moments board in Cal Poly baseball history, still to be added on. This is our Mike Kruco student athlete lounge. This is where the players will eat. They have a kitchen. They can study here. They can relax. On the wall, you have all of our major league players. This is our major league wall, and it goes from, in chronological order, from Thornton Lee all the way down to Mitch Haniger. We'll have to continue on the next wall. We just added Mark Mathias with the Milwaukee Brewers. We expect any day to add Spencer Howard of the Philadelphia Phillies. Mike Kruco, Mike pitched here 1971, 72, 73. Had a 14-year big league career with the Cubs, Phillies, and Giants. Won 20 games with the Giants. This is our Burns Family Foundation Sports Medicine Room. This is where our players will get daily treatment with our trainer. All set with taping tables, ice machine. And we're going to go to the Joe Rumsey transition area / mud room. This is where the players come in from the field. Come through here, field's right outside. Come through and they take their spikes off, turfs off, and they put on their shower shoes and then walk on to the locker room. And we transition to the Jason Moss locker room. Jason played here at Cal Poly 1982 to 1985. In 1984, he was an All-American. Spent 9 years in the Yankee organization. And come on in. This is as nice of a locker room that you'll find out in the West. It's got the couches for the players, great lockers. We have donor nameplates on top and the players' names on the bottom. You have 4 TVs, 1 in each corner. So they'll spend a lot of time here. And the lockers were really done nicely. Inside, you got USB ports, chargers, and just a great place to be. Been to a lot of different clubhouses out here on the West and some on other parts of the country, and this is as good as they get. On the top, you can see our Division I All-Americans. Over here, graphics of some of those players backlit into the Mustangs. There are showers, cold plunge, and restroom. All right, we're going to come out through the Players Lounge, right into our bullpen area. This is the Paul Souza bullpen. Paul was a pitcher here at Cal Poly 1990 through 1993. So this is our home bullpen area on the third base side. As you can see, it just comes right outside of our clubhouse. It's right next to the Al Montna hitting facility. And right onto the field. Spectacular. The addition of this clubhouse is going to really help our student athletes. They get to come here, they get to lift, practice, shower, go to class. They can really utilize this. It's a very integral part of our recruiting, and it's an integral part of our development of our baseball players. I'd like to thank all the donors who contributed to the project, especially Dignity Health for their generous donation. Without all of you, this project would not have been possible. We're very, very thankful for all your involvement in the program.
It's a great day to be a Cal Poly Mustang here as we finally officially open the Dignity Health baseball clubhouse here at Cal Poly. There's a lot of people to thank for this project. First and foremost, this would not happen without Larry Lee leading our baseball program and being so entrenched in San Luis Obispo and in the Cal Poly community. I'd like to thank our fundraising team led by Ashley Offerman, as well as the team that helped build this project within athletics led by Dr. Nick Pettit. The two of them suffered setbacks and obstacles, and they never wavered from their dedication to making sure they got this project done. So I'd like to thank the two of them and the teams that they led. Additionally, President Armstrong and Vice President Cindy Villa and the teams that work for them were unwavering in their support of this project. Again, we had some setbacks and some challenges, and they were supportive, and their teams were supportive throughout the entire construction process. I wanted to thank each member of the Mustang family that contributed to this project, but Ashley told me it would take too long because there's so many. So I want to thank all of you for your dedication to this project, for your loyalty to Cal Poly and Cal Poly baseball, and it proves that since there's so many people that donated to this project, it really proves that this community really comes together around these special projects such as this. And finally, thanks to my good buddy Alan Iftiniuk, the CEO of French Hospital, member of the Dignity Health family. They are one of the top 100 hospitals almost annually in the United States. And it's a tremendous partnership for us to have with Dignity Health and to have the naming rights for this project, their dedication to our community. The partnership between Dignity Health and Cal Poly Athletics is strong and vibrant, and it's because of this gentleman that's helped build this amazing relationship. So I just want to thank everybody that's helped support this project. We look forward to seeing everybody at a baseball game very, very soon, and ride high.
I want to congratulate Coach Lee on this beautiful, beautiful facility. It is amazing, and I want to thank my good friend Don for all of the great work that he's done with the athletic programs here at Cal Poly. Don had mentioned the collaboration that occurs between Dignity Health of the Central Coast and Cal Poly. There are a lot of different collaborations that are going on, from research to lots of work in various areas. But one of the things that we enjoy most is our collaboration with the student athletes here at Cal Poly. And being a part of the development of this program has been so exciting and so rewarding for us. It's an incredible, incredible facility, well-earned, well-deserved by your leadership and by the success of this team. And we can't wait to play ball. So thank you, congratulations, congratulations. A beautiful facility, can't wait for everybody to see it. Go Mustangs.
There we go. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I get goosebumps seeing it and know what this is going to do for our baseball program. With that, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Larry Lee for a few comments, followed by Chris Baker helping us with our Q&A with Coach Lee. Please submit questions to the Q&A. You're never going to get Larry on the hot seat like this again. So this is your one chance.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Wish you could be here live in person. This whole trip started over 20 years ago with Robin Baggett leading the charge of trying to get a baseball stadium built on campus. Fast forward a few years, Robin, Jim Newkirk, and Richard Andrews, they initially were the first givers towards this clubhouse project. And it came from a vision of Jim Newkirk wanting to do something for the student athlete. And he thought this would serve the student athlete best. Fast forward 7 years, and here we are today with the Dignity Health Baseball Clubhouse. It's a great facility, and we're going to take advantage of it. And there's a lot of areas that it will benefit us. But it's a one-stop for all of our student athletes. They can come out to Baggett Stadium. They can lift. They can practice, study hall, pretty much everything except for attend class. So with that, we'll turn it over to Chris Baker, and we'll have some questions and answers for you. Can't hear you, Chris.
All right.
There you go.
First question is, what is your favorite part of the new clubhouse?
Well, a couple things. I like the fact that we tied in the history of Cal Poly baseball. So all the rooms, hallways, suites, everything has been tied in with a past Cal Poly baseball player or donor to go along with Baggett Stadium, the Almonte hitting facility. But I think it's really important that I know this clubhouse is for us and the players and coaches moving forward, but it's for everybody. It's for all the players and alumni that came before us. So it's that they have their names on certain rooms, and it's going to be here forever. So you can come 20, 30, 40 years from now and their name's going to still be up. So I like that. I think the balcony sets this place apart. It's a great view for our donors, and for the players, the clubhouse is as good as any clubhouse on the West Coast.
Next question comes from Jason Moss. When do the players and recruits get to see the finished clubhouse?
Well, for recruits, we can't show them the clubhouse in person until a future date. So it's because of the COVID. So we're not allowed to speak to players in person on or off campus. Our players that are living in town right now, there are some that we'll see it within the next few days. They've kind of had a glimpse, but they haven't seen the finished product. And most of our incoming players and returning players will be here anywhere from September 3rd to September 10th. So we start school on the 14th.
So Jason asked a follow-up question about what about the plans for the players to actually occupy the lockers and use the facility?
Hopefully we get to go right away. I'm sure there'll be some social distancing. There will only be a certain amount of players in the locker room at a time, and there'll be mask wearing, things like that. So we're not quite sure going into the fall what our practice situation is going to look like and what our occupancy situation will look like as a clubhouse. So we might not be able to have the entire team in there at once. We might have to address them from outside the clubhouse.
Michael Fonger wants to know, when will Nuke be able to throw out the first pitch?
Anytime he wants. All right. We got to get him some surgical tubing and some 2-pound baseballs, warm up that arm, and he can throw it from the rubber, he can throw it in front, doesn't matter. He's always welcome here. He's the best.
What will change in terms of social distancing measures?
As of right now, we just don't know. You have to come up with quite a few different options, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's on the field, whether it's in the locker room. So a lot of unknown answers. We could come up with what we would like to do, but it might be a combination of some things. So it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be the same as it always has been moving forward. So just have to be creative, come up with some different options. And we just want the opportunity to be on the field in some capacity during the fall, because that's when you learn, that's when you develop. And we have quite a few new players coming in, so they have to understand what's expected for them at this level. Our returners have an idea about everything, but having the season cut short last year, they just got a taste of it. And so most players, quite a few players are not playing summer baseball because of the COVID. Some players are. We still have 4 players up in Minnesota playing. And so we'll do the best we can. We just have to be creative, and hopefully by the time that we get back on campus, things have lightened up a little bit, but they're not going to lighten up totally.
Jason Moss asks, have you already seen tangible results in recruiting?
I think so. I think we've given virtual tours with some of our recruits, and we've done a good job. It's been very interesting, and we've had to be creative. So we've watched a lot of video, a lot of live stream over the past few months, and then we combine that with statistics on how they did in their high school season, junior college season, and then we combine it with some people out in California that we trust their opinion. And so if they check all the boxes, then we move forward with offers. So it's we've done well. I mean, with our upcoming classes, 2021 class is considered the seniors this year. So I think we've had 6 commits, but some of those were committed before the COVID. 6 more commits for the 2022 class. Those are your juniors, and we just had a 2023 commit last week. So we're actually doing fairly well in the recruiting process. But yeah, it's been difficult. And you want to get your own eyes on these players, but sometimes you just can't.
Phil Yoshida asks, how does this improve the game day experience for the student athlete? Well,
I hope they don't, they still understand what they need to do. I mean, it's great, great facilities. After class, they pull up, they come on in, they get their treatment, they lounge if they need to, they get some early work in the cages or on the field. Then they go out for batting practice, come on in, go out for infield, outfield, and then get ready for the game. So it's all at their disposal, but we still create jobs for our players, whether it's inside the clubhouse or out on the field. So it's still a blue collar work ethic. We don't want guys to think they're entitled. We think as a coaching staff that the longer the player is here, the more they have to give back. So if right now, I think we have that type of a culture within our team, and we always want to keep that type of a culture. We don't want to think that a player comes in here and is entitled just because the facilities are nice. So still create that blue collar atmosphere.
Robin Baggett asks, what's the next project? What do you think about a barbecue area in left field like Mississippi State?
So Robin, George Steinbrenner, Baggett. Well, immediately we need to redo our fencing down the left field and right field sidelines. We need to take care of the backstop. So it could be a combination of the green padding with brick that matches the clubhouse. And we just had and also the chair back seats. They've been faded over the past 20 years. So those are the 3 main things, but starting with the fence, because we need that to be able to play. Second priority would be the backstop. Third would be the seats. We just had a $1 million donation from Bill Hoffman. So we're going to redo the entrance into Baggett Stadium, and we're going to give the press box a facelift. And the brick will also be on the press box also. So when it's all said and done, everything's going to tie in with each other. It's going to be a great facility.
Liz Lee asks, what will your lineup look like for this season?
We'll see. We have 3 new players coming in from Boise State. Boise State waited 40 years to get their program kick-started, and they played 14 games and got cut. So that program doesn't exist anymore. So we have a couple of position players coming in and a left-handed pitcher that we hope can fit right in. Everybody needs to earn their spots. There's one kid on the team that, I have something going on with his mom, so that might have to, he might have to be in the lineup someplace. But we have a pretty good feeling of a mixture of our players from last year. We had a really good recruiting class in last year's freshmen, so they're a freshman again. We return our senior catcher, Miles Emerson, which is very, very important. He can help tutor our pitching staff. And but outside of that, we'll see. You kind of pencil it out, and I always tell our players that the starting lineup the first day of the season won't be the starting lineup the last day of the season. It just doesn't work out that way. So players play themselves into a position and play themselves out of a position.
How have the players been handling the COVID situation on campus?
Well, the players that stayed locally, we had about 13 at one time. Now, a couple of them had graduated, but they still stayed here to work out. One was a junior, Taylor Dollard. He signed professionally, so he's out of the area now. But they had the availability of a weight room, and they lifted 6 times a week. They got their field work in, they got their cage work in. And so they really rechanged everything about themselves. I gave them what I thought they needed to do in the weight room, and they took it and ran with it, and they've changed their bodies. And I know, because I've seen those guys on a daily basis just coming to work, those guys have got better themselves. And my last comment to our team in mid-March when this went down, that was the last time in person I saw our team, was that, you can utilize this time from today till we get back on the field to gain an advantage over everyone or get passed up. And so I know these guys have taken advantage of that. We tried to place as many guys as possible that needed to play summer ball, and we think we got the guys that needed to out there. And it's we still have 4 more guys out there, and they end next Thursday, so they'll get 40, 42, 43 games in the summer. It's just what they needed, because when you only play 16 games, you don't quite develop and you don't quite experience what you need to experience as a young freshman. So they're out there, and it's all been good. They've really taken advantage of this, and we're lucky because we're one of the only counties in California for a long period of time that was a little loose on our restrictions, and now it's tightening up a little bit. And so we're hoping to, by the time school starts, or maybe a little bit before that, we can get things lightened up a little bit.
What are the highlights of the kids that have been playing summer ball?
Just that they're playing. So whatever their numbers are, it's they're getting at bats, they're getting innings pitched. Some of our incoming freshmen, they didn't play at the level that we really wanted them to play at. We like to have them play up against older players. So like our better incoming freshmen, we like to send them up to the West Coast League, which is a college-based league, and there's only a certain number of high school players, the better high school players on all of their rosters. But there was some growth in just playing, getting on the field, because their junior college or high school seasons were cut short. But we still had a lot of players, just like all other programs, that weren't able to play summer baseball. So there's been some good results, and it's just, what we really like, the game plan is that, they practice all fall with us, they practice and then play all spring with us, and then they get away from us in the summer, so they don't have to listen to us. We're not a safety net, and they get a chance to utilize the things that we've taught them, but without us being in their ear. And then they also learn from other players that they play with, other coaches, and they learn the game on their own. And usually they come back after a summer a better product.
Can you comment on the outlook for baseball in the Big West?
I think the Big West will be better than it has been. I think it went through a lull for a couple of years, and I think it's getting back up. We do add 2 new teams, Cal State Bakersfield and UC San Diego, so it's an 11-team conference now. RPI-wise, which is kind of what the NCAA judges your postseason chances, it's not going to get better. Yeah, adding 2 teams, it will probably drag it down a little bit. So you really have to make sure that you have a very good non-conference, winning percentage, and then combine that with a high winning percentage in the Big West. I think there's just a number of teams that are really good. And I think some teams got stronger because of the COVID, because they kept guys that they probably would have lost through the MLB draft. It hurt us because we lost Taylor Dollard in the 5th round. They go 5 rounds, we lose him, and with him, he starts on Friday nights, and everybody else just kind of falls in place. So we have to figure out what we want to do. We have a fairly good idea who can handle a Friday night situation, but we gotta make sure that we take care of the other 18 innings on the weekend also. So we have a number of players this year, a few more than normal. Usually you're allowed 35 players on a roster. This year we're at 40. It doesn't mean that everybody will play or actually make that team, but with quantity, we hope we find some quality in it, and we hope we find some surprises. And usually that's what this program's always had, is that players come in, they maybe have a certain type of skill set. They're not quite ready to perform at this level, and maybe it's their sophomore year, maybe it's the middle of their sophomore year, maybe it's their junior year, and something clicks, and they go on to become guys that are really impactful to your program.
This looks like it might be the last question, unless others want to submit some more. When will the proposed 21 schedule be available?
Well, it's changed 2 or 3 different times, but off the top of my head, we have UCLA coming in here for 3. UCLA was a top 5 team this past year. They'll be as strong as ever. They return most of their pitching. We go down to USC for 3 games. We open up against Nevada here for 4 games. So we've had to, because of the COVID, we're supposed to have a 4-game series against University of Oregon that we had to cancel. And so I've had to redo the schedule about 3 different times. And so it's still a quality schedule. Have to win games. We've had very difficult schedule last couple of years, and that's all great, but still you have to win some games. So hopefully this team is up for it. I think the future is bright with some of the players that we've recruited for future years. So look forward to it.
So a couple more came in, Larry. Joe Newkirk, you asked if classes will be in person or online in the fall. Larry, I'll answer this one for you if you'd like. It's kind of going to be a hybrid situation, Joe, where 13% of the classes will be in person, and then the rest of the classes will be held virtually. And then Liz asks, if a barbecue area is erected, will you donate all the beef to cook?
Yeah, we have 10 cows in the backyard, and I'm all good with that. Clean up that backyard, so I think those cows will go a long way. Yeah, and we'll get Robin to get his barbecue up here, and we'll treat everybody in San Luis Obispo and beyond to a Baggett style barbecue. So.
Larry, that looks like all the questions.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Now we're going to go into a recruit video at the end to end it, and stay safe. Hope to see you at Baggett Stadium in the near future, and come by and check out the Dignity Health Baseball Clubhouse. It's an unbelievable facility, and we're very, very proud of it. And a lot of hard work went into it, and a lot of dedication from our fundraising people, and appreciate all the donors that had their hand in it, and especially appreciate all the baseball alumni from past years. This is for you also. Take care.